The top 10 times villains were the best character. If you're a movie lover who doesn't just watch films to kill time, but thoroughly enjoys every little aspect about them, you know that movies are more than just some people acting around to entertain the audience. A movie from which we can learn something, as little as creating a new perspective towards certain things, is more than just a good movie. It's almost like a lesson that's been taught to us, or like reading a good book. A movie has so many good things about it, and among those good things, great acting and great characters always top the list. And although movies are intentionally designed in a way to promote the good characters, sometimes the actors play the bad guy's role so well that the villain steals all the light. Here are our picks for the 10 best characters in villains. Let's get started. Character number 10, Killmonger in Black Panther. The utterly captivating performance by Michael B. Jordan as the movie's antagonist, Killmonger, was a big part of what made Black Panther such an incredible smash and a shoo-in for the popular film Oscar. Denied his birthright and shunned by his tiny kingdom, Killmonger advocated for an armed Pan-African insurrection because he had believed it was unfair for such a sophisticated civilian to remain hidden. At the same time, atrocities continued to be committed around the world, even though he used extreme force, killed innocent people, and was more motivated by rage than compassion. T'Challa eventually understood his motivation. In the end, T'Challa understood the value of interacting with the global community and the African diaspora, but by diplomatic rather than violent means. Character number 9, Ozymandias in Watchmen. To their credit, fans frequently mentioned Ozymandias. I did it 35 minutes ago when discussing the ultimate wicked mic drops. Despite Ozymandias' egotistical behavior and endless speeches, he actually unifies the planet, unless you include the movie renaming it to Dr. Manhattan. But the fewer words said about that, the better. Ozymandias' plan simulates an alien invasion of New York to bring the world together against a perceived external threat. Judging from the epilogue, he really succeeds. Although Ozymandias' strategies were radical and apocalyptic, they had a purpose. Character number 8, Maximus in Inhumans. When the villain is revealed to have been right after the credits have rolled, the audience may appreciate what they just saw. The audience will destroy any faith in heroes if they discover the villain was correct from the beginning, in the first episode of a new show. It was only one of the main issues that ABC's unsuccessful Inhumans project had when they pushed it on to viewers. After failing to exhibit superhuman skills and being demoted to the lowest rung of a repressive, the villain overthrew the present government. He then wanted to replace it with a society that valued social and economic equality. The person viewers were supposed to cheer against is that one. Character number 7, Cassius in Doctor Strange. Although Cassius isn't one of MCU's more famous villains, it's debatable whether he qualifies as one at all. It is because he was at his best. He is described as disobeying the Ancient One's teaching and seeking a dark power to become immortal. They reveal Cassius lost his wife and children and turned to magic to save the world from impending death, a notion that the Ancient One rejected. Cassius came to recognize the Ancient One's teaching as being based on hypocrisy when he learned she was employing the same evil magic that she had convinced him not to use to save herself. Although it may have been a mistake to turn to Dormammu, Cassius was justified in feeling insulted by the Ancient One and in pursuing immortality for all humanity. Character number 6, Koba in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Clearly, the villain in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is Koba. When Caesar sees Harmony, he despises people. He even accuses them of murdering Caesar and his family to exacerbate the conflict between humans and gorillas. Nobody would disagree with Koba's assertion. That is, up to the sequel, Koba did some awful things, but he did them because he thought humans and apes couldn't live together peacefully, and that war would soon break out. He wanted the ape forces to be ready and launch a premeditative attack before the army of man gained strength. We see Caesar's peace turn into a bloody battle in the sequel, War for the Planet of the Apes, and we discover Koba's prophecies are accurate. Character number 5, Norman Bates in Psycho. The shower scene is one of the best shower scenes in film history. It has a man standing behind the woman with a knife. This man is no typical villain. The film industry encountered this kind of character for the first time in movie history, as he was a fully human version of a monster from a monster movie. The villain is not some toothed ghost or ugly monster, but he is possibly the man beside you. You can never think of him as a negative role. As you guess, he would never want to hurt even a fly. It's difficult to fathom how terrifying the mother-possessed proprietor Norman Bates was to audiences in 1960, or how much thrill Alfred Hitchcock got from pulling off the shock. Still, it's accurate to say he profoundly changed horror. Of course, serial killers are everywhere on today's big screen. Before we further continue on our discussion of this topic, if you've enjoyed the video so far, consider subscribing, as we frequently upload such informative and educational videos. Let's continue. Character number 4, Hans Gruber in Die Hard. Alan Rickman gave Hans Gruber an exceptional quality that may be the ideal voice and appearance ever created for a villain. When he said, "I'm going to count to 3, there will not be a 4, he proved it. Gruber cemented his place in movie history as a sophisticated, cunning antagonistic who could shift the course of events, even when his original plot was derailed by an annoying barefoot NYPD officer, Bruce Willis, John McClane. It helps that writers Stephen E. D'Souza and Jeb Stewart gave him memorable dialogue. His exact delivery, which betrays his theatrical training, provided everything Hans says greater weight, and all heroic villains require a glorious fall. Few do so in the manner of Gruber. Character number 3, the Illuminati in Civil War Planet Hawk. When angry, the Hawk unleashes an unstoppable force of destruction that occasionally claims more victims than he does. When the Hawk's heinous destruction of Las Vegas was revealed to the best minds in the world, the uninhabited planet, though the Hawk makes a comeback in World War Hawk to exact retribution, as predicted by Namor, it's terrifying to consider the damage that may have happened had Bruce Banner's enormous green anger monster been alive during the Civil War. What if Hawk had opposed registration even while Banner had supported it? The additional fatalities in the already dire scenario could not have been conceived. Exiling Hawk was the proper decision, even though it eventually returned to haunt them. Character number 2, Loki in the Thor films. Even in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, populated with icons and entertaining heroes, a villain makes a more significant impression. In the same way, Tom Hiddleston's bitter, crafty, Asgardian adopted child, Odinson, was raised by accident rather than birth. He performed admirably in The Dark World and the first Thor, but in Joss Whedon's Avengers Assemble, he truly excelled. Because of Whedon, the classic cunning British villain also got to shine comedically. Both Hiddleston and Loki's film creators recognized the power of the traditional cunning British villain. He is from another realm, remember? And finally, character number 1, Magneto in X-Men. Since his purpose is only a matter of perspective, Magneto may be Marvel's best villain. Magneto wants to ensure that his people are equipped to fight back, because as a young boy who experienced the horrors of the Holocaust, he is aware of humanity's ability to drive away and eliminate others out of fear. It is difficult to justify any of Magneto's acts. Still, from an ideological standpoint, he is more similar to Xavier than opposed to him. Though Magneto's take is a distinctively more aggressive tack than Xavier, humanity has repeatedly shown Magneto's suspicion to be correct. While finding a peaceful end to the struggle should be the primary goal, knowing that the mutants have more brutal means at their disposal prevents humanity's darkest inclinations from taking hold. So, there you have it, folks. The 10 best characters and villains. Which is your favorite character or actor in the movies mentioned? Please let us know your views in the comment section below. We'd love to read them. If you found this video informative and enjoyed the content, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button as well. We would really